And another guy, can we talk about him, has been Buddy Hield. Caleb, Buddy has not looked good at all, and his value has absolutely tanked so far. Now, Buddy's still a shooter. His value tanking does not mean much because when it's tanking, it's still going to go back up, right? Because at the end of the day, he's still a what? One of the best
Mhm.
shooters in the league. Now, this year, he hasn't proven it, but he is that type of guy. What do you think they should do with Buddy Hield? Do you think he should be moved to the bench with how good Tyrese Halliburton has been? Because Tyrese Halliburton has looked like the best rookie so far. And can we just talk about those two, Buddy Hield's demise and Tyrese Halliburton's success?
Well, I think Buddy's hitting rock bottom. I think Buddy's already kind of hit his peak as a player. You know what I mean? Like a shooting guy. Like I don't think he's gonna get much better ever. What is he? He turns 27 this year. So yeah, he's kind of at his ceiling. I think when a player hits that ceiling, they try to do more than what they're capable of, and it kind of hurts them in other areas that they're strong at, like shooting. But I would bet on him figuring out shooting wise. I think he'll figure it out. It just could be a cold start, which I'd bet money on it being. But Tyrese getting out to this hot start, man, he's good. He's really, really good. And I know people say that this is what he is as a player, like he has a high floor. But you got to understand, when a player has a high floor, they can always get better. They can always get better, right? The thing with Buddy, and people are going to say you just contradicted yourself. You just said Buddy hit his ceiling. He did. Buddy's a specialty player, right? His specialty is 3-point shooting. You can't really improve other areas when you're out there really for your shooting. And you don't want to turn into like a guy that tries to be a playmaker and stuff like that. You're a specialty player. A guy like Tyrese is a Swiss Army knife. He can do really everything out there on the court. There's no saying he can't get better at scoring, get better at this, because he can do everything out there. That's the difference. And that's why I think that a guy like Tyrese, while he is, people say just high floor, low ceiling, I disagree. I think he can be even better than this. I would hope he's better than this. Because he is really good, but I would hope that over the next couple of years he develops something else, whether that be an elite playmaker to where he gets to 8-9 assists a game, which is maybe a little bit unlikely, scoring, hitting 17 points per game, which honestly, watching him, the way he's so smart with the ball, wouldn't be shocked to see him get that north 15 points per game guy like in his career. I think he can be really, really good, and I'm excited to see what the future has for Tyrese. Why are you
Tyrese
smiling?
has looked really good. And I want to bring up a point that you brought. 8, 9 assists, you said was a little excessive. Hey, I'll bring it up to you. Last night against Portland, he had 8 assists, and Tyrese does not play any more than 30 minutes a night. So if he's getting 8 assists in his rookie year, who's to say he's not going to get 8, 9, 10 assists more? And I think he's the type of guy that, to me, he looks a lot like a Malcolm Brogdon. That looks like the type of player he is. But I think he has a higher ceiling than Malcolm Brogdon. I see him, he's a faster player, he's longer. Yeah, he is a little bit skinnier, but I think Tyrese has a bright future ahead for him. And he reminds me a lot of, and this is a guy that it's a little excessive. It might be a little bit too much of a comparison, but I see a lot of Chris Paul in him. And the reason why I say that is he's the floor general. Like
Mm-hmm.
the guy that out there, he's going to make the right decision. And
It's so massive for a team like Sacramento to find a guy like that where you can really just count on him making the right play at every time. Because people like Fox, but Fox makes mistakes every now and then. The thing with Tyrese is you can put the ball in his hands, and I would say you have like an 85% chance of him making the right play. There's always, because he's young, there's always that 15% chance. But there's a really high chance he makes the right plays every single time. I love watching him play because how many rookies, when they get the ball in their hands, do you feel like, okay, I feel better with him having it than some of our more established players? There's not very many. And especially when a guy that's taken in that 12 range, that doesn't happen. And just, it's amazing to me how good he is already and where he was drafted. We made a video about it. We called him the steal of the draft.
yeah,
And
we
what would you
were
know?
the
You
experts
were
of
right.
the draft. Once again, we were the experts of the NBA and the experts of the draft. But I will say that Tyrese has looked much better than most rookies. And I wanted to bring this up to you, Caleb. We talk about a guy like De'Aaron Fox who has gotten the money now. He's gotten the keys to the car. He is the Lamborghini owner now, right? And
Mm-hmm.
no one else has that ability to be at his level. Vladi drafted Marvin Bagley and said Marvin and De'Aaron is going to be the face of this team. Monty McNair, the first thing he did was what? He gave De'Aaron Fox the max money. He said De'Aaron Fox is the face of this franchise. So
I know one thing's for damn sure. Marvin Bagley is not the face of the franchise. I don't want to
Exactly.
keep picking on that poor kid, but damn, like
And Vladdy was wrong. And the good thing about Monty McNair is he put
shocker.
that law down right away. And that's why Coach Bagley was what? Vladdy was wrong. Yeah, we know, we get it.
Don't call him Coach Bagley. You're giving him too much credit.
Yeah, we'll talk about Marvin Dadley, Marvin's dad.
My gosh.
He got upset because he knows that Marvin isn't that star. Now, De'Aaron has the whole keys, and we said this during week 1. We said this during preseason, and we will continue to say it. De'Aaron Fox cannot shoot the ball. No. De'Aaron Fox cannot throw a rock into an ocean right now, and that is concerning. Now, I wanted to bring this up, Caleb. Are you at any bit concerned, wondering, is it cross your mind at all that Tyrese Halliburton might eventually be De'Aaron Fox's replacement? Now that's excessive. It's early, but the player that Tyrese Halliburton is, the stuff we've seen from Tyrese. Now, De'Aaron, we know the type of player he is. We know that he has a lot of room to improve, right? But we talk about this with a lot of players. They have the room to improve. De'Aaron,
will he do it?
We've talked about it since the first year. He needs to improve it. Has he done it? I don't know. And that's my main concern. So do you think Tyrese is going to be eventually the guy of this team? Do you think Tyrese will take the keys of the car?
You know, I was kind of dancing around saying it 2 minutes ago whenever I was saying that I trust, Tyrese more than some of our more established players. I was talking about Fox. I trust Tyrese with the ball more. Now, I'm an outsider, right? I don't watch every single Kings game. But what I've seen is I trust Tyrese more. I do. And it's nothing against Fox. Fox is one of my – if you look through my old tweets, I love Fox. Fox is one of my favorite non-Celtics to watch. But, man, Tyrese just looks – I just trust Tyrese so much more with the ball in his hands. And I know that sounds weird. But then you think, okay, you like the ball in Tyrese's hands more. But then Fox kind of has to turn into a little bit of a shooter, and he can't. He's not a good shooter. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it because I know Abe would get mad, but
I get your point. I get what you're getting at, and that's kind of how I'm starting to feel lately.
Nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to say it. Place, but it's if.
Well, that's the thing, and if you really watch Tyrese, the stuff he's able to do, and we've seen Fox have that star ability his rookie year. We've seen Fox have that star ability. I mean, even the other night, they lost, but he went 9 for 12, and it was on a minute restriction. But sometimes those stats aren't telling the full truth, and sometimes De'Aaron just doesn't seem like he is the guy. And that's what's concerning is I was looking at some tweets, Caleb, this morning, and let's just say that Kings fans are starting to get a little upset at De'Aaron, and they're right. I'm not going to say that they're wrong or they're right. Actually, I'll take that back. I don't know if they're right, and I can't say that they're wrong. I'm not going to sit here and be like, you're wrong, because a lot of them are saying De'Aaron Fox might be overpaid. Some people are saying De'Aaron Fox's contract might have been a little too early to jump on.
History has proven that the year 3, year 4 of a player's career is where that pop happens, right? Where that explosive year of a career starts off. Through the past 2 years, through this year and last year, have you seen anything from Fox that says, let's just say, this is going to be rude, but do you see anything from Fox that says all-star caliber franchise player that could lead your team to the playoffs? Have you seen any of that?
No, but I wanted to bring up a good point. You brought that up, and I immediately look at the guys, and I know this is wrong, but is it really wrong? Hey, a certain viewer might look at us and say that's the wrong way to view it, but
Abe.
Yeah, Abe might look at us and be like, hey, why are you judging a player based off of his money? But I'm sorry, when you get the 190 million max, you are saying, I'm the captain of the ship, everyone get out the way, I got the keys, right? Mm-hmm. To me, De'Aaron has that right now. And 2 things we talked about. 1, players with max money have all been in the playoffs. Bam Adebayo, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum. Another thing, Jason Tatum looks like an absolute stud every night.
He has top 5 player potential. That's what
Donovan Mitchell is not that same player. He's streaky, but he's on a good team, and I get it. He's on a much better roster.
Way better roster.
The difference. I'm not gonna a much better coach. De'Aaron has a lot of handicaps in Sacramento. I'm not saying that, but De'Aaron's inability to shoot the ball is what really separates him from max players. And I think if he doesn't eventually learn how to shoot, don't be surprised, like you said, if they eventually surround this team around Tyrese Halliburton.